are your recommendations about him, believe me, that relevant authority must act. Because you are now approaching them with factual information about that particular teacher or group of teachers, that this is what you are doing, and this is not hearsay, this is scientifically established. And you believe unless this solution is taken, the problem will not be solved. By the time when your presentation or your request is backed by factual or empirical evidence, government will have no option but to act. So let us also come up with an inspection mechanism like that, so that we can help government. Because their hands will be tied not to act. Whether they like it or not, they will act. Because if we allow ES and his team, of course they are trying, but sometimes they will not do things the way it is. Because of one problem or the other, sometimes they will see problems, but they will not report them the way they see them. As long as our reports are not objective and absolutely correct, then whichever steps we take toward implementing those reports will not solve problems. But if the reports are clean and objective, believe me, definitely solutions or implementing those reports and recommendations will gradually address these problems. So as we all know, the problems are multifaceted, but I believe if teachers continue to do their work the way they're supposed to do it, because Imam mentioned of interest. Those earlier generation of teachers he mentioned, like Barade, who is here, who is an experienced old headmaster and education administrator, and also Abakar Tambari, they are all here. During their time, they had interest in the job, and they were patriotic. But teachers of this generation are not patriotic. They are not there to impact on those pupils and make sure that they are good. They do not treat pupils like their children, like it used to be in the past. So we must agree that as teachers, it's our problem, because we are not patriotic to the job and to the nation. So if we now change our attitude as teachers and start to be patriotic and committed to this job, believe me, what is important is the teacher and student. Forget about any maybe instructional material. Even if there is nothing, if there is a committed teacher and a committed pupil, instruction or teacher and learning will take place. Of course, instructional materials and other facilities will assist. But in the past, education was taking place, there was progress, and there were not all these facilities, simply because there were students ready to learn and there were teachers committed to the job. So as teachers, let us remain committed to this job. Let us be patriotic and God-fearing. Because if you are going to your place of primary assignment as a teacher and you are not going to the class regularly, on the day of judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will punish you, because you are not just employed to go to Nizamiya from 8 to 2. No, you are employed to go there and teach. Even if you are there throughout and you are not going to the class, you have not done your job. And on the side, in the side of Allah, you have transgressed and you will be punished for that. So that commitment from teachers is very important. It's the number one thing we need into solving these problems. All others, maybe solutions and steps are secondary, because no matter the situation, if we are committed and we continue to do it with commitment, definitely the result will be visible. Of course, there are problems that are responsible for losing interest in the job, and we know the condition of service is part of it. In the past, your salary as primary school teacher can take good care of you and your family. But at the moment, if you are at LGA and receiving less than 20,000, we know for sure this is terribly bad. Because even if you are not having family, there is no 20,000 in our present socio-economic condition can take you for 30 days. So, but as it's part of what government is required to do to address these problems. Because no matter how patriotic, God-fearing and committed you are, if you are always starved, hungry, and not able to take your immediate basic needs, your commitments will not be as it's supposed to be. So government is supposed to do something about this. We know part of our problem is that we have so many employees. If you go to local government, our ministries, you will find a ministry with 2,000 employees. In a ministry where 50 people are enough to run that ministry, you will see 2,000. Because over the years, the leaders and politicians were doing a lot of wrong things, which contributed to our sorry state of affairs. So there are some establishments are overstaffed. Therefore, had it been those staff there were not blindly recruited, and government only employed a reasonable number of staff needed to do the job, and they are taking good care of their employees, this problem will have been solved. But at the same time, government can still do something to increase the salary of teachers, because I'm sure even breakfast for 30 days, 20,000 naira cannot do for a family man. 1,000. Good breakfast, there is no way with 1,000 you can have a good breakfast in your house. So when your salary cannot take care of your breakfast, forget about lunch and dinner. Then we know that is why if you look at your faces, very sympathetic. Yes, very sympathetic, because you are not eating well. Yes, but do you know one funny thing? Even if you are receiving 5,000, since you signed the acceptance letter that you will do this job with 1,000 or 20,000, as a Muslim, you must do it, because if you fail to do it, Allah will punish you. Yes, because you accepted the offer. What you will do is simply to resign if the condition is so bad. You will resign and say, okay, this salary could no longer sustain me, I'm resigning, I'll go into a business. That is what you do as a Muslim. But as long as you remain accepting that job and you are not doing it, no matter how bad the condition of service is, wallah, if you do not do it well, on the day of judgment you will be punished. So there are, we know the time will not permit us to continue, and alhamdulillah, the previous speakers have been able to identify some solutions toward addressing this problem. And what I only want to stress is that SDF should sustain this interaction. Let us continue to come together, discuss these problems, agree that there are problems and these are the solutions, and gradually adopt it, and we come up with a timeline of implementing these solutions. Gradually, inshallah, these problems are going to be solved. Thank you and assalamu alaikum.